don't never do a video towards the women. I may say little points or whatever, but I don't never really drop nothing towards the women like that. But I'm gonna say something today. Women are fascinating creatures because the level of how high the emotional capability is, it makes them that much more fascinating to have an experience with. You got to understand what I'm saying. You don't know this about yourself in full totality, and the ones that do, they know this against groups of women. So what they'll do is they'll group all of y'all together because they know the standpoint of how it feels to show up, or what it may feel like to experience something different, or with the ratio of the circumstance, is what's going to keep you in a certain headspace. This is just for women. So what does that even mean? That means only thing I have to do is give you something to represent for, stand to, and the values that come with that is going to be emotionally attached to you. So even when you see the masculine in men, and men can move a certain way and how loud and brash they be with their homeboys, you equate that as a level of togetherness that's lacking from the circumstance of what women would do. So it excites you. So then automatically you start hearing women in today's society say shit like, I'm a whole man with a PUSSY, or I'm a real nigga with a PSSY. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Even in the groups, when you got women that you come together with under your group understanding, the emotional capability of somebody else's experiences allows you to have an understanding of visualization, meaning you'll get emotional behind somebody else's value and put your 2 cents in when one thing got nothing to do with the next. Because majority of the time, people don't tell the whole story, and half of the time, more people are hurt by their own actions than the circumstance that plays out. So if I wanted to control women, I'll be the one to say things in a circumstance like, how can I put it? I'll be the one to say things in a circumstance like, it wouldn't be me. I'm going to keep doing this, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do me regardless. Like, those terms men used to use because in an attribute of production, or in an attribute of alignment with loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like, men will say, nah, I got these things to worry about. But before you had those things, your focus was whatever you put your loyalty into. So they'll see that as a movie scene. The women are appearing from this angle. The men are acting it out. So it's like, nah, I got to fight for this now. I got to fight for that now. Well, you was fighting for this structure of reality before any of these things that came with this structure became a value. What does that mean? You didn't have a woman, you didn't have a kid until you got money selling whatever you selling. Now that's more important to you. But the game is what brought you there. So this is where niggas learn in the streets that the game can fuck you worse than anything else, because you dedicate yourself to the game. So now this brother ends up going to jail behind something that he didn't hold his ratio to, because it's what started him to have all these other things: a family, money, good life, nice places to go, people smiling at them. Like, all that wasn't a thing until you got that from whoever brought it to you. So when that man asked for your loyalty, you had other things to take care of. Why am I even speaking to it like this? Because most people want to understand, where's this aggression coming from with females? Where's this masculine trait thing coming from with females? Females grew up watching movies and TVs like everybody else, and their parents wanted to be gangsters too at some point in their life. They wanted to be somebody that they wasn't. Only the real people that was really making the moves is who came through the town doing the things that they would see on TV. So they would have that as a jealousy. So that was like the road marks. It was like all right, so this person can do it, so I can act like it. Nah, this is not an acting thing, you know what I'm saying? But then you go to movies and TV, and you see people taking the reality of these circumstances and giving it some form of a life through a visualization, the way you're entertained. So now all that entertainment has been cauterized or sealed off in an aspect of hip hop, black entertainment and stuff like that. So then people take that, oh, my people gonna love to watch this, and they'll take these real life situations and re-edit them in movies and values, hip hop, clothing, circumstances, and then that's what people would adapt to. The women, matter of fact, they pay more attention. So what they're paying attention to is what moves the situation, the emotions that move the crowd. So this is where you get different categories of men that are accepted because you got to fall in some of these categories that their emotional aspect is actually traded to. So with all this being said, the problem is that I can't trust you to make a sound decision because your decisions is based off society. It'll never be based off the actuality of something. You know what I'm saying? You'll naturally let something that's not in your best interest come next to you in a group and call that your sister. Knowing, and I've been in situations where females will sit there and just talk cash shit about other females. I've been in situations where females will be on the phone with a female. This is my best, this, da-da-da. As soon as they get off the phone, oh, this bitch dumb. She keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm like, yo, how is that your friend if you talk about them like that when you get off the phone? I'm telling chicks that I've been with like this. Like, yo, how is that your peoples like that if you talk about them this bad when you get off the phone? And they'll get bad at me. I'm like, nah, I just want to understand where you're coming from. Like, if you don't fuck with her like that, whatever. And what it be is, they just don't give a shit at the end of the day. It'd be some raw, it'd be like, I don't give a fuck. And having that person believe in them, moreover than that connection be real, be the device. Like having somebody believe in the fact of the girlhood, the group, or coming together with people or being around them, be more of the contingency that you think is a friendship or you think is valuable, when in fact they do that to get information about you. So they find out all the things about you and then they move accordingly. Sometimes they'll push y'all into more situations. Like if a female don't like you like that, she'll mess around and push you into more of the fucked up shit that you're doing. Oh, girl, if I was you, I would have did this, or leave them. When you can hear the stories, it's not that bad, but the girl is making it that bad. She going to break that shit up because she can tell in a relationship that man really care about you. That's why he acting out like that. So she gonna tell you, if I was you, I'd leave that motherfucker where he at, and da-da-da-da. Like they sit back and they pay close attention to the emotional value. Some people don't know how to watch a whole movie. And the reason why they can't watch a whole movie because you're too busy feeling every single scene that goes through that movie. So what I'm saying to you is the reason why the detriment is multiplied by 10 is because y'all don't need to be grouped together. And not for nothing, if you want to know where it really, really started from, when life started in the primordial, everybody want to say the female, the female, the female. Well, it was no life when it was all dark. That wasn't even female at the time. So everybody keeps saying the darkness is the great mother. No, it's not. Stop saying that shit because y'all look whole stupid talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like creation itself, the creation, not a creator person. The creation energy itself is direction, which is a phallus. Okay, it's extending. It had to go from one point and extend past that to make creation. That is a phallus. That was not a man nor a woman. It's just direction. So when the direction came in and it expanded in all different directions, it created waves. And those waves is what started symbolizing curves. Curve, or the negative frequency, was considered to be feminine because it absorbed everything that was coming from the point of creation. So now something that's dormant is sleeping. It's not alive. It doesn't have a life. It doesn't have a light energy. It's just dark. It's nothing there. It wasn't nothing, no magical. It wasn't no force of beings walking around with stars inside of them. It was no wombs. It was nothing. It was just nothing. The light came in and inserted itself into that. And that light that pushed after it expanded and it was going in a direction, it pushed and made waves. And that light decided to make it into 3 different aspects, which was a black hole, a wave, and a center hole. That's a whole nother understanding. So with those things being created and those values, you got the understandings of the light perceiving the light coming after the wave. So the wave perceived the light. That means the wave was going as the light was coming. So when it coalesced and it slowed down, the light inserted itself, which gave that wave light. It gave it life. It gave it light. So then that coalesced material became a being through existences in the universe. This is how you got the primordial beings. This is why you have a level of ancient creations, because one of the first creations through creation existence was the womb. Okay, but that doesn't put it as the first being or the first thing that was there. It's just one of the first creations. So because you are inapt for all of that, you always had a disdain for the light that gave you life. It's like, dang, yo, I had to just those few seconds and then the light came inside of you. So now you have an understanding of that concept and its reality. You are not the light. You are the absorber of it. So having a level of light absorbed at its greatest particularity, we out here making words, having the light at its greatest standpoint be absorbed as a moment in history, that's a feeling that the DNA will always remember in women. It's never going to forget that. So you're going to always have this type of understanding towards that, as you want something more than what you're able to obtain, opposed to where your creation is in existence today. Like, you'll never get that because that's what started creation. So these are the things that people don't comprehend when it comes to spirituality. And that's why I say you're speaking from an ego point of view, because one thing has nothing to do with the actual aspect of, you understand what I'm saying, how these things come into play. But it has everything to do with the characteristics of how women and men portray things out to be today. So unless you know this about that particular understanding, then you're always going to perceive it and say things out of your mouth that don't balance out to the universal understanding of how creation takes place. So this is where you get this back and forth with the understanding of men and women being able to see things that men don't see and stuff like that. It's because you're not of this particular creation. You're of that creation that absorbs. So your job is to see what we don't even look at. You know what I'm saying? And not for nothing, our job is to insert inside of you what you don't even carry. So that's a creational understanding. One thing has nothing to do with the next, but when you keep adding your own perception to a value, we start looking less than of universal principles. That's just the value and how it really works. So I get it. I get what y'all want to do, but I start laughing a lot, and it becomes funny because that shit don't be real. You know what I'm saying? It don't be real at all, and it just be a bunch of false understandings that y'all actually deem to be real, from the government all the way down to poverty, the lowest level of some understanding. Like, it kind of ripples through side by side reality, and then you see these side roles play, and the side roles play in a way to where you feel like they have to be respected or have to be added to the retrospective in existence. No, that's why people go to jail. That's why people get shot. That's why people get beat up. That's why people think they can lie, cheat, and steal. Like, it's these false side realities of what you think it feels like, opposed to you making a choice. And then you make these dumbass choices based off a false understanding of you feeling some type of way. And that shit get your ass in trouble every fucking time. This is why people have to be governed. This is why you got levels of people that have to be governed. And not for nothing, ain't too many people on my level think the way they do. There's not too many people that think like on my mental level. And I'm not trying to say I'm smarter than nobody. I just see shit that people don't normally see, and they get mad and want me to digress to what I see because they don't comprehend what I see. I'm not in that business no more, making people feel mentally sound. Oh yeah, nah, you smart too. Nah, I'm not doing none of that shit. It's either you know or you don't. And if you don't, it's gonna hurt your feelings talking to me. Seriously. Because I'm gonna say some shit, you're gonna be like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just because I pay attention to the Almighty. Divine said, know me by knowing my creation. So as I go inside myself and come back out of myself, and I'm standing where the sun is, and I can float back down to the earth, going in and out, in and out, in and out, I see all creation and understandings. And if y'all keep looking at it from the value, this why this why it has to be a visualization for some people, because it promotes a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn, yo, y'all ain't gonna never give up the sexuality. Like, it's a beautiful thing, but there's no regard. There's no regard. Like, you gotta be sexy to feel good about yourself. What about being sexy for what loves you? And then people think about that and they were like, nah, because I can have everybody love me. Well, the men that was like that didn't have nobody to love them. So as they grew up, they didn't have a mother, they didn't have a father or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And as they got older, that understanding, lack thereof, of what they was able to have, it became the thing that their heart wanted the most. So no matter where they turned their head, they never seen love for them there when they were younger like that. So as they got older, everywhere they turned their head, they wanted to see love, and it manifested in other ways of, of temptation and values of failure. So this is where these understandings come from. Like they always grow to the temptation aspect, lack thereof, of what you had. So you want to be the version of an individual that was hurt. When y'all try to be these different gangster niggas and these niggas who they stay in the street, they hard, they don't care. No, they're like that because they don't got no home training. These niggas ain't had nobody around them. They ain't had nobody to tell them yes or no. And these same niggas, if you was a man and you knew this, these same niggas, some of them would get saved before they grew all the way up. That means somebody started loving on them part ways. And you'll start seeing them change. You'll start seeing them be different individuals. I remember, and that don't even matter what color, like it could be white or black. I had white friends that grew up in the hood. Their fathers was alcoholics and would have fucked them up bad in front of everybody. And I seen these motherfuckers be hard as shit through their whole understanding. As soon as they get a certain age and they get a woman to love, I'm so serious, they get a woman to love them, they square all the way up, they dressing nice. You know what I'm saying? They wearing their haircuts different. You talking to them, they not talking hood no more. You're like, yo, what happened to son? You're like, oh shit, he in love now. He got a girlie. This is no bullshit. I'm not telling you no lie. This is a fact. So most of these men in the world end up finding more women and shit on them like they people, or they find a woman that really loves them and they change completely, because a real woman will make a man change. It's a fact. They speak life. So when real divine love comes in whatever man's life, no matter what that is, that unconditional shit, when it comes into a man's life, he will change up for that value. That's a fact, but it has to be strong enough to let him know when he right or wrong. Keep in mind, if you're not built for that role, you've just came in a situation and caused this man more harm, because you didn't know what you was getting into when you was involved. And I'm not saying it's not the same for a woman. What I'm saying is women don't perceive energies like men do, and don't act them out like men do neither. So when y'all playing these roles, you got to understand what you're doing, because you actually destroying shit. And this is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, you know, I remember reading this post and this chick said the dumbest shit in the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? She got up there and said it so confident, but she was high as a motherfucker. Like, her eyes was bloodshot, you know what I'm saying? And she got on the post, she like, I'm a sapiosexual. And that means I take it or something. Like, if I really want it, I just take it. And we might like that or some dumb shit she said. I'm like, that ain't even what sapiosexual mean. But you got up here and you got thousands of people on this post saying it because you're using the sexual faces. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't even comprehend what the word meant, but she used it in the way she did, and mad people in the world seen it, and it was funny. But it's the fact that she was dead ass serious. So that told me something. That told me she heard the word, but didn't comprehend the meaning, didn't even look up the definition, just ran with it. You know what I'm saying? To sound more intelligent, because when she heard the word, it sounded good to her. So that means you did no research on nothing. It's just how it felt when you heard it. So that explained the cipher and the value more over than anything else. Yeah, you heard it. It sound good when somebody say you like how it sound when they said it. It made you feel a certain way. I'm going to use that. You don't even know what the word mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for the most part, you got to think about these things when y'all coming into these different energies that you want to be like, that you think is what's going to help you be a better situation. No, your energy is dominant. You know what I'm saying? And it's dominant to the fact of your creation. That means you're supposed to be over, like when that light hit that first wave and it came into existence, she was more than thankful, because now she wasn't just tumbling in one direction because of force. She can move her body around by her own understanding. You know what I'm saying? She can literally, oh, now I got light inside of me. Oh, now I can think. Now I know what I'm made of. Now I know what you know what I'm saying? Like all these things came as far as a reality, but to bring you back down to a lesser thought would be the value of taking away the fact that you standing on 2 feet, taking away the fact that you can be grounded, taking away the fact that you speak life, taking away the fact of everything that comes with the power of a woman that will create a value with a man. So if you don't know that, then naturally you're attracted to failed energies because you're a failed thought pattern. Your thought understanding is failing you. This is why you're attracted to failed situations. So that's your energy being turned inside out on itself. You don't know this because you don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people ain't going to want to hear what I'm saying right now. They're going to be like, yo, what are you talking about? Da, 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 da. I'm talking about the woman. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. That's why it hurts them so much, because they don't want people to know that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing for a woman. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to have to be shown, yeah, that eats her up inside, especially the weak ones. You know what I'm saying? A woman who don't mind learning will take that knowledge, usurp that shit. She will usurp it and bring it to a whole nother dimension. You know what I'm saying? That's the power that she can use from knowledge, but that's not a thing when it comes with your pride, when your pride is involved, and that pride thing comes from the men not having. So your father might not have had, or whoever raised you in that aspect might not have had that direction. Or back in the day, a female who was raised kind of rough when it wasn't even polite to make a female manly might not have had it. She might have gained that because she felt like she was being treated like a man. So these are different understandings in reality. People abduct these understandings and then they go and press them on people in different ways, only finite to the way that they comprehend shit. You see what I'm saying? So you don't even know how they comprehend it. You just think they cool because they smiled in your face. You don't know what they went through. You just think they can be a good friend because their conversation is good. Well, they learned how to be conversational from being conducive. I'll be conducive in society despite the shit I went through. No, that's a manipulative person. That person, that's what you need to fight against, the way you're thinking. That's why I said it's not about being healed. It's about you comprehending your choices that you're making. Because you start inducting people into the ways of your frequency and then everybody fucked up. I ain't gonna hold you. Naga the wise.